Hey, welcome back to the Temple of the Holy Beard. I'm Pastor Dave. It's great to have you here with us again today. In this video, I want to talk about free stuff. I think we all like free stuff. It's a great word. It makes us think good things. Hey, free stuff, let's check it out. But unfortunately, not everything's free, and some of the stuff that is free may not be good. May end up costing you more in the long run. In America, freedom is free, only it's not, because some people had to work very hard to give it to us. Some people gave everything they had, including their lives, to give us what freedom we have. Um, but I'm not here to talk about freedom. I'm here to talk about free. And what came to mind this morning, I was thinking about a conversation I had with a young person a while back, and he was talking about being upset because this student loan forgiveness, and he recently graduated from college, and he was really new into the workplace. He's just getting started in his life, and of course he saw that price tag because he went to college and this is what it costs, and now he's in the position he has to repay it. Well, he's got the mindset of, he went to college, he graduated, and that made him something special, and people just need to, you know give him what he needs. um, you know and so, that's pretty common mindset for young people, especially nowadays. And most people, it ends up getting worked out. But and I was talking to this kid, and he was upset because he'd been wanting to buy a house. Like I said, kudos to you being a young person and you're wanting to buy a house. You know, um, he already got that in his mind. He's been working towards it, and during the COVID time when the student loan payments were put on pause, he was able to save up a lot of money. So, great. A lot of people would just blow that extra money. He put it in savings. And in his mind, that's money he's committing to his down payment of his house. But his comment to me was something along the lines of being upset because they were getting away from the student loan pauses, and the round of debt forgiveness, as they call it, um, wasn't going to happen for him. And so he was venting because, the student loan forgiveness would have knocked out his debt, and then he would have been able to buy his house because, but now that he had to pay his bills again, and the pause was being taken off, and he had to start making his student loan payment. Now he's not going to be able to afford a house. And I pretty much cut him off right there. And so, first of all, there's millions of people in this country, and everybody who bought a house has paid their debts. Well, some people have gotten in trouble, but you get the idea. And so there's many people, 99.9% of people most likely, who went to college, paid off their debt by themselves or with the help of their family or whatever, but without dependency on outside programs. The government didn't give them free college. Granted, there's some people got grants or free rides for playing a sport or whatever, but even those people, it wasn't free. If you got a free ride for playing basketball, it wasn't free. You worked for it. You held up your end of the bargain by playing that sport for that time period in exchange for them paying for your schooling. It wasn't free. And in this kid's mind, I went to college, I earned it. Now I'm working. I shouldn't have to pay that bill. I've got other things I want to buy. And that's wrong. Now, the thought in his mind was, somebody else is going to pay for it, so I don't have to pay for it. It's free. But it's not free. And so imagine if you were being given free, free streaming service. We're going to give you every streaming service available. It's free to you. The government's going to pay for it. Well, do you know how the government's going to pay for it? government doesn't have a job. The government's not earning money. He's not playing basketball and getting paid for it. You know, the government is taking it from someone else to give it to you. The government doesn't have, you know, a way of creating enough money to pay for all these things they're giving out. And that's what I was trying to explain it to him is, again, imagine if you were being given free streaming service. We're going to make this free to you, every streaming service that exists. Well, maybe you only want to watch a couple of channels. Maybe, again, maybe you're only into sports. Who knows? But you're being given every streaming channel. Okay, so you don't care. You just don't watch those other channels. No big deal. However, those are going to be paid for by increasing the amount of taxes you have to pay each year. That's where it's not free. You're paying for it by the tax increase. But a lot of people won't notice it because, it's just a little bit that comes out of each paycheck. Other people will notice it when their paycheck gets a little bit smaller. But you think you're getting this free service, but you're not watching the whole thing. You're being forced to pay for it. So again, if you're that person that only wants to watch the sports channels, but you're being forced to pay for every channel that exists, and those are being taken out of every paycheck that you have without your choice, that's not freedom, and that's not free stuff. Freedom is the ability to make your own decision, and pay for the decisions that you make. Reap the benefit, pay the cost. That's freedom. It's not easy. Nobody's giving you anything. You got to work for it. And free is the same sort of way. Sometimes there's somebody who's giving away a free sample. Well, you still pay for that stuff in the cost of everything else going up. Because somehow somebody has to pay for that free sample that was given out. So the cost of everything else that goes up. There's no such thing for the most part as a free thing. So you might get something where somebody's giving away their old stuff. I don't want it anymore. I need to get rid of it. I don't want to put it in the trash. If you can use it, you can have it. That's a free thing. Because you're doing them a favor by taking that off their hands. They feel good about themselves because it's going to be used instead of just shoved in a landfill. But, anything that has to be paid for by somebody. People don't work just for the fun of it and not expect to get anything out of it. So, a company can't just give you something. The government can't pay your bills without getting that money from somewhere. And I've heard people say, well, I don't mind if they increase my taxes because it's a good cause. My response to that is donate. If you want to donate to that cause, find a place that supports it and then give them however much money you want to give them. That's choice. That's the freedom to choose. And you're not forcing it on anybody else. Because, if it's being given, it's being taken from somewhere. So think about that. I don't know, that was in my mind, and it didn't come out right in this video, but it was on my mind this morning. I was thinking about that again, and just want to make out that comparison of, especially, if young people, I know it's been a little while, this is kind of petering off, but they're still trying to give away this free stuff without a lot of people realizing the consequences. Even freedom isn't free. There's not much that's actually free. So when somebody says, I got this thing for free, ask them questions about it. Where did that come from? How'd you get it? Try not to be a jerk about it, of course, but maybe, maybe they truly did get it for free. Maybe you could find a resource where you can get something that's actually for free. Like I said, if it's one person's trash is another person's treasure. Somebody's throwing it away. You can use it, it's a win-win. That's great. That's free. But if it's being taken from one person to being given to another, that's not free. And we need to question whether or not it's okay. You know, anything that's being stolen from one or taken without their choice isn't truly free. You can't rob Peter to pay Paul without it coming back to bite. So let's think about that. And like I said, if you run into somebody, maybe just like I said, don't be a jerk about it. Just try to have that conversation, and maybe you can educate each other. Same thing if you find a resource that really does have stuff for free, is share that with the people who need it. You know, if you don't need it, you don't need it. But if you do need it, absolutely take advantage of that. Anyway, this is, like I said, this is Pastor Dave from the Temple of Holy Beard, and I hope you've enjoyed this video and hope you got something out of it, and I hope to see you on the next one. So thanks for watching, and stay safe, stay sane, keep learning.